Welcome back. In a time where everyone is trying to sell you something either in person or through social media, life insurance is no different. Financially protecting yourself and your family by having life insurance can give you peace of mind.
It can be challenging to break down different plans and what works best for your household. And in today's Money Matters segment, Ernest Burley is back to talk about the life insurance and how to anticipate the needs of your family. And it's so nice to have you back. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
So, Mr. Burley, I'm in my early 20s. I'm just starting to live on my own. When is it important for me to think about buying life insurance?
Well, the sooner the better. I know it's hard to think about that now, but the younger you are, you're probably in better health, right? So a lot of people who are older, they wish they would have gotten life insurance when they were younger. So it's really a good time for you to look at it now where you're in better health and you're younger.
Give us an idea of what the difference is between term and whole life insurance.
The biggest difference is term is a temporary type of insurance, and the rate increases substantially after that temporary period of time, right? The term, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year term. Whole life insurance is permanent. It stays the same rate, the same policy, the same coverage throughout your entire life.
So what are some scenarios where you might want to choose term life insurance? Because it kind of seems like a worse deal when you put it that way.
Yeah, so it depends. I'm not here to defend either one of those policies. Some people have strong opinions on term versus whole and vice versa. Term is more geared towards a person who only wants the coverage for a certain period of time, because truthfully, after that term, the rates are going to go up substantially and they increase every year thereafter, and you'll be left without coverage. But if you're cool with it, then fine. But it's temporary coverage. It's not permanent. It's not going to be indefinite.
I've heard almost the opposite. Basically, people say whole life insurance is way overpriced compared to term, and that it's insurance that you most likely will not need in the future. It's that term insurance in case something happens and you do pass away.
Right, but if you don't have the term coverage, what good did it do? Like if you turn 70,
you have to have one or the other.
Right,
Yeah.
That's why I don't defend either one. Both of them serve a purpose, so I don't bash either one of them. Both serve a purpose. Each person has to look at their own situation, why they want the coverage, how much coverage they want, and what their budget is like also.
Well, just to add to that, she spoke about being in her 20s. I'm not. I'm a little bit older,
30s?
Just somewhere in there. But one of the things I was told was when your children are older and self-sufficient adults, that is something that you need to rethink about in terms of what you're paying, if anything, for life insurance. Do you have any thoughts on that?
You mean life insurance for your children?
Well, life insurance for yourself to protect your children in case something happens to you.
Right. So insurance is like a bell curve. Your responsibilities, like the bell is like this. When you're at the peak of the bell, that's when you have more responsibilities. But as you go down the other side, you have less. So you may need less coverage because your children are out of the household, hopefully, right? And you don't have as many financial obligations and responsibilities. So maybe your life insurance needs go from $1 million down to 100,000 or what have you. Everyone's situation is different. You have to do it based on your situation, not what someone's trying to sell you.
Right.
I see. So let's say I start out with just term insurance and I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm at that top of the curve. How can I switch from term to whole?
A good feature in term policy is called the term conversion. So you can convert that term policy, either all of it or part of it, into a permanent plan of life insurance. And the big kicker here is that you can do it without any medical underwriting. So they don't look at, they just say, sign some paperwork and they will convert that policy regardless of what your health is.
This is something at times that younger people tend to not really think about. It's kind of a thing that happens when you start your family and you start to be concerned that maybe you want to leave something for the children if something happens to you. Is that the best time to be looking at this?
No, I know it's hard to think that way, but the sooner the better, because I have people decline. I've had children decline. It depends on what your health is. You don't tell the life company when you get coverage. They tell you when they're going to give you coverage. So you can be in your 20s or 30s or have some health condition that makes you ineligible. So the sooner you get it, the better, because you're younger and you're probably in your best health, right? So that's just the way to look at it. I'm a financial planner, so you plan. You do what's best now, planning for the future.
And you may be able to lock in that rate when you're younger.
Yes, definitely. Lock in the rate for the long term. Yeah.
I see. So what are some of the disadvantages of both of the types of insurance?
Well, the biggest disadvantage of term is that it eventually terminates. So it eventually is going to terminate. And like the biggest disadvantage is that the premium is going to go up so high to where you won't be able to afford it eventually. So $1,000, $2,000 a month, literally, right? Whole life, a lot of people don't like the fact that the premium is a little bit higher in the short term, not in the long term. In the short term, the cash value in there, you have to borrow against it if you want to use it. You can't use the cash value when you pass. It doesn't add to your death benefit. You have to use it while you are living. So some people don't like those aspects of whole life insurance.
All right, it's worth having a conversation with an expert.
Definitely, definitely.
All right. Thank you again, Mr. Burley.
Thank you.
And today, Mr. Burley, we just want to let you know, mention that Burley Insurance and Financial Services has no affiliation with Next Financial Group.
And individuals should contact their own financial professionals and attorneys to help answer questions about specific situations or needs prior to taking any action based on this information.